A new study has found that people spending time looking at a screen in bed are more likely to lose sleep. Experts say putting your phone down before bed, doing some relaxing, and establishing a routine may improve your sleep. We were joined by Dr. Abhishek Raut, medical director at Appletree Medical Group, to unpack this study.
Screen time can have quite a bit of a negative impact with the combination of both physiological but also psychological factors. I think the big issue here that we see with smartphones, tablets, and TVs is they emit this blue light that mimics daylight. So this exposure can suppress the production of melatonin, which is our hormone responsible for signaling your body that it's time to sleep. So without that natural surge of melatonin, your inner circadian rhythm is really becoming disrupted, and it takes you longer to fall asleep, and your overall sleep duration and quality can also be reduced. We've seen that in several studies as well. There's a Norwegian study that shows that every extra hour of screen time before bed increased the risk of insomnia by about 59%. On a psychological time as well, we see that screens right before bed will keep your brain very activated and in a state of heightened arousal. So engaging with stimulating content, whether it's scrolling or answering emails, really prevents your mind from just winding down naturally. And so it's this combination of both the physiological and psychological that tends to cause a lot of disruption in sleep.
Now, the study also said there was no significant difference between social media and other screen activities. Why is that? And would that mean that there's no difference between using your phone and scrolling through Instagram before bed compared to watching a TV show before bed?
That's right. And I think that surprises a lot of people as well, because what we do find in the studies is the specific type of screen activity isn't as important as the screen itself. So if you're interacting with social media on Instagram or just passively watching TV or even working, all of that is going to expose yourself to a stimulus that delays your body's wind down process. So regardless of what you're looking at on your screen, if you're exposed to that blue light, it is going to interfere with your body's production of melatonin. And of course, if we are using social media, we're using it for something engaging. So that again is going to disrupt our circadian rhythm and delay sleep in general.
Now, you did just touch on this, but experts are saying that you should put your phone away before bed or any other digital devices with more than enough time to be able to give yourself a good quality sleep. How much time is that? And does that window change for males and females or depending on how old you are?
Right. So everyone's going to hate me for this, but many of the experts now are saying that it's really ideal to put away your digital devices completely for at least 30 minutes to an hour before you plan to go to sleep. So this window will really offer your brain the time it needs to transition from a very alert state and a stimulating state to something where you can wind down and be ready for a sleep ready state. So when you end your screen time before bed, it allows your body to naturally start producing melatonin, naturally regulate your sleep cycle as well. And we've seen this in countless studies as well, that really, if you have that 1 hour of no screen time and you focus on activities that are not stimulating, you are going to absolutely have better sleep.
Now, it's also been recommended that when you wake up, you don't use your phone right away. Why is that? And how long of a window should you give yourself from waking up to checking your notifications on your phone?
So this is very interesting. So when you wake up, our body actually does a very similar process where it's naturally transitioning from a state of sleep to one of alertness. And that's a very gradual process. It's not an immediate process. So if you use your phone immediately afterwards, it can really interrupt this gentle transition. And it starts forcing your body to recognize that when I'm alert, I have to be on focus all the time. And this can cause a lot of problems as well, not only with melatonin regulation, but more importantly, it puts your brain into a state of overstimulation right in the morning. That's going to kick a lot of stress hormones into play, stress hormones like cortisol, which already is something that we want to minimize. So instead of a calm, gradual activation, using screens right away is a very jarring activation, which can certainly increase stress over time.
Now, experts have also suggested that you should sleep with your phone at least 3 feet away from you. Why is it so important that people aren't falling asleep with their phone in their bed? And how negative of an impact can having a phone that close to you have on your health?
I think that's a very good question. I think what we've seen in studies that having your phone just close to you means you are a little bit more alert in general. You're thinking you might see some notifications or you're ready to answer calls or texts. If you put your phone 3 feet away from you, there's a general understanding, at least in yourself, that you're not going to be able to do that, or you're not going to be doing that at all. So you're not going to hear the notifications, you're not going to hear the calls. And so it allows you to actually remain a lot more calm and prepares you for sleep. So these studies that are showing keeping the phone at a distance is actually very, very correct and helpful, because it will create a pattern that you can rest quite quickly and come to a deeper sleep state quickly.